Hello, hello, gorgeous angels. I am so blessed to be here. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, most amazing, beautiful viewers. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me, and welcome to this soul family and community. And if you are returning, I'm so blessed to be here again doing your reading. So let's weed out some people who might not need to be here, okay, with this reading, because this reading is really taking a look at your perspective, your understanding of whatever is going on in your world, in your situation. Maybe it's a difficult situation or just an overall energy you're encompassing, and then the reality of what's going on. Okay, so if you're in tune with reality, most likely probably wouldn't necessarily be so much into the tarot and the reading, because you have your own sort of navigational system guiding you with the divine. But this might be how you tap into the divine, through tarot readers and through the tarot. Nothing wrong with that. So if you are in line with the truth and you're here, I'm so blessed, and I hope you continue to stay here. It is certainly up to you, okay, to develop your own spirituality. Now, if we're completely in some sort of distortion and some sort of perception, you belong here as well, because that is my intention, is always to assist in healing. So those might be more challenging readings. Now, if none of these piles resonate for you, I think it might be time to go. Okay, only because however I'm delivering or communicating the messaging, it might not be resonating for you, and so I might not be your reader, although I do love for you to stay. And if you resonate with most of my readings, then you can certainly stay. But this is really intended to gauge, so you don't waste your time and you don't sort of come here to skew any of the readings that are going on here with people who are trying to heal, trying to really tap into themselves, okay? So it is difficult for us to heal. It is very difficult because sometimes we don't want to accept certain truths, okay? And we know when we hear the truth, there's a familiarity or a ring to it, which rings true, and it pulls at certain emotions. And so we might feel more charged with whatever we feel, you know, resistance, anger, frustration. That's okay. We're allowed to feel these ways. Let's not suppress or deny that these feelings are happening. Feelings are true. They never lie, okay? What people say is like, don't act on your feelings because they can lead you askew, is actually not accurate so much, because you're not being asked to act on the feelings. You're being asked to take a look at what your feelings are communicating to you, okay? The feelings are always true. That's your navigational system. If your feelings are telling you something's off or if it doesn't feel right, it is accurate. And it's accurate because it's telling you, take a look at your thoughts. Your thoughts are perpetuating some untruth. Okay, some sort of untruth that you're carrying or believing to be real because you believe it. And so it's your perception of what's going on, and it's your reality of what's going on, but it's not the objective truth. It's just the subjective perception you're engaged with, okay? And this creates suffering. And so we're trying to remove all of these illusions and distortions so that you can be in reality, be in awareness, be in truth. And this takes time to peel away the false stories that we're carrying and believing, because they've been programmed there by many generations, society, upbringing. Okay, for whatever reason, we hang on to these as maybe security, whatever the case may be. So without further ado, beautiful people, my dedication, my commitment is always to your healing, no matter how challenging here, okay? And sometimes the messages come through quite pointed and direct, and this is what I communicate in my description of all my videos, because in order for me to read the energy, it's very sort of dramatic. It could be on any scale, okay? If I say deception, it doesn't necessarily mean like someone who is outright malicious and lying. It could just mean some omission of truth or some sort of in denial or that sort of thing. So it's up to you to sort of put together the picture, but the overall energy should be something resonating with your energy field, okay? And only you can use your intuition. I can't tell you what's your pile. I can't tell you whether it's right or wrong. You shouldn't force any of the specific messages to fit. Just tap into your intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear. Does it feel right? Does it ring true in your soul and the core being of who you are? Okay, is there some sort of resonance there? And you'll know. because it just doesn't make sense. You won't understand it, okay? If you understand it, you're just resisting. That's completely different. Most likely you're pile. You're just in resistance to this, okay? Ego wants to remain kicking, screaming, auditioning for your attention. It wants as much energy put on it. That thought is very important. Urgency. Look at me, look at me. It wants to stay alive, okay? That's the false self. It doesn't want to die. It wants to stay alive in the distortion that you've created here. So that's why ego death is painful, because we say goodbye to the untruths. We detach from everything in order to have a conscious, open, pure energy in the right here, right now, to make conscious, active decisions based on our own sort of truest place of being. It's not reactionary. It's not dependent on past things and conditioning. It is, every moment is completely unique. Okay, completely unique, and it requires you to respond from the authentic place. And that's how we create harmony. Okay, we create disharmony when we believe in lies, illusions, distortions, and start reacting out of programming and triggers and traumas, and we don't realize we're in that. Okay, we're in dream state. It's just like some automatic thing that's happening. So we need to observe, we need to rise above with our consciousness, observe our actions, and we start to see our actions and our thoughts, and we really start to distance ourselves. We create more space, because we start to get very almost like, I don't want anything to do with ego. It looks like a way of behaving that we no longer resonate with, you know, trying to get someone's attention, or like judging someone else, or like carrying some sort of idea that we have to be someone to, you know, have approval, or that we are better than someone else, or something that makes us just shy away from the ego. You know, we don't want to impress anyone. It's an ooey, ugly energy that we don't resonate with, you know, but when we're in it, we keep it charged. We keep it alive. We don't see that we're in the matrix, so to speak, of that personality. That's what's creating our suffering. Okay, so that's a collective message for everyone. I wasn't expecting a collective message. I kind of went off the rails here, but if you do leave, I'd have these every once in a while, just to keep my collective to the truest state here of who needs to be here. Okay, I love all of you guys. Doesn't matter if you're here or somewhere else. Okay, and we're all connected. We're all one. So your healing is going to bless me in my world. Okay, just as my healing is going to bless you in your world. So we are always together, you know, in the divine creator's eyes. Okay, but I want what's best for you. And so there's no need to waste your time maybe in readings here if they don't resonate or make sense, or they're not really leading you to heal. They're keeping you in some sort of perpetual cycle. That's not my intention, okay? I just want healing, forward movement, no matter how painful it might get, as long as it is moving forward with ascension and growth. Okay, so it's not that I don't care, and it's not that I am triggered. It is that I am delivering the message in the fashion it needs to come. So that if it's one person, then that needs to hear it in that way, then it's going to come out that way. Okay, regardless if there's a million people here that get the message, it's the one person that needs to get over whatever the thing is, or see the thing. That's how the message comes out. Okay, so beautiful angels, pile number 1, the Light Seers Tarot for option 1. Okay, option number 2, Glow in the Dark Tarot. Option number 3, the Tarot of Oneness. And option number 4, we have the Rainbow Heart Tarot. Okay, so because I'm using tarot, we're picking from the decks like this. I don't have pre-shuffled oracle cards. This is all tarot, and then we will pull a bit of oracles to kind of confirm, but predominantly the tarot here, okay? So sit with this energy, beautiful angels, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 1, the Light Seers Tarot. We're looking at your understanding, your belief about your current situation, circumstance, how you see it, what you understand to be true according to you, and then the reality of the situation, which is the objective truth of what's actually going on, okay? So if you haven't listened to the collective message at the beginning of this reading and you want to leave a comment, I would suggest you listen to that message before you comment, okay? just so we're on the same page and you understand what this is about before you ask something that's already there. Okay, so this is all about you, your healing. The only reason I'm delivering this is because I care about you, and I want you to make headway, whatever you need to do to see a greater truth, you know, and maybe you are in line with the truth and you're just here to make sure that you're connected to the divine and this is your way, you know. So no shame in connecting with tarot, as long as you know your purposes and your reason. Everyone is at their own place here, okay? So no judgment, only connecting to truth so that we can ascend, become best versions of self. So for pile 1, Spirit, clear and concise message. How is pile 1 seeing or understanding their situation? We have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. That's the only one that's revealed itself. All right, so maybe we're putting a lot of weight on someone else to come with some form of truth or what we think would be truthful, but it's really our own perception of what we think is true. And so maybe we're putting a lot of weight on someone else balancing that out for us, you know, but really we can only control our own self. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's not do tarot just yet. Let's take a look at the oracle. So honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Perfect. And we have desire. So we have someone who's naked, vulnerability with the snake, all about healing, wisdom. Okay, shedding the old, desire, passions, being pulled to something. Okay, and then we have open. So this is open-mindedness. We see the star. Star is Aquarius energy. You know, thinking outside the box is a very different way of thinking. It opens the mind. There's no limitation. You know, there's no limitation, so that means nothing is wrong or right, because in a world full of possibilities, anything can happen. All abundant universe here. Reconnect with spirit. So that's what this is doing. Okay, opening the third eye or the crown chakra to connect with spirits. Look how synchronistic these snakes are. So this could be indicative of a kundalini, you know, the rising of the energy that is stored dormant in the root chakra. And so this could come hand in hand with a spiritual awakening, or the energy, the prana, okay, the life energy, it awakens. And this can happen in a near-death experience. This can happen when we're on a twin flame journey. This can happen when spirit says it's time for us to awaken, you know, we become awakened. And so the energy flows through us and sometimes is very sudden and quick, and it can turn us into a tailspin. This might be having to deal with our egos and old parts of self that need to fall away. All right, and we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. And we have magic. Wow, magic. So certainly this is connected with the divine, you know, in this 3D world. What seems like magic could be something that is very real in other dimensions when we connect with spirit, that there really isn't such a thing as magic, but miracles and happenings of the divine that we can't explain with the logical mind. So let's take a look. We have the world. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. And we have 3 cups under that. Okay. And we have the 7 of cups in reverse. And we have the devil, Capricorn energy. And we have temperance, Sagittarius energy in reverse. We have 8 pentacles. And we have the 9 pentacles in reverse. And we have the ace of swords in reverse. And under the 3 of cups, we have justice in reverse, Libra. Okay. There's a lot coming through here, beautiful people. There's your situation, okay, in the 3D world of what is going on. And then there's the higher understanding of the spiritual side of what's going on here. And I asked what you believe, and that's kind of coming through, but also some guidance and some advice here, okay, as to what the reality is going on. So we don't see the truth because we are in an illusion right now of the mind. That is the only thing that's creating the confusion. Okay, so that first of all, there's no one out there that's doing anything other than just fulfilling whatever they're supposed to be fulfilling, doing whatever they're supposed to be doing karmically. Okay, in the real world, things are happening, people are happening, situations are happening. What we attribute to that happening is solely based on us. Okay, so we can either believe that people are doing and behaving in certain ways, good or bad, and make that judgment and carry that belief. That would be true to us. But we can create that sort of understanding and live with that belief and then suffer with that belief, okay? Because we're choosing to do so. And so, like I always say, 50 people can have the exact same experience and come out with 50 different understandings or takeaways of whether it was right or wrong, how they felt, whether it was good or bad, etc. Okay, that's all perception. And so we know because of this, and we know that's true, right? That 50 people can experience the exact same thing and come out with, 50 different experiences or understandings of it. That means the great truth here is that everyone has a perception. And when we hang on to that perception of experience, it dictates our level of being. It dictates whether we're happy or sad, whether we feel okay or not, whether we're confused or not. So your confusion and your pain right now is caused by an understanding that out there, that somebody was unjust, and that there's a great truth that you think is true because you believe it to be true. You totally believe it to be true. And the universe is saying that is your truth. The real truth of what's going on here is that nobody knows what the right or wrong thing is. Only the divine is balancing energy. Okay, energy is neither right nor wrong. It is only energy acting out its actions based on karma. Okay, energy balances out. And so karma happens. We don't know how or when it's going to take place, but it always finds a way of rolling out. And so we don't know past lives, what we've done in younger years and how the karma is going to unfold. But that is the law of energy. It finds a way to balance itself always in karma. So we cannot dictate better than God to say this person owes me, or this needs to happen in order for it to be right, or this person is lying according to me and they owe me the truth, or this needs to be just in this way because this is how I see it. Your perception of what you see here is only your perception. There is a truth here that's going to unfold as it should that might make you feel like it's unjust. And so only you can hang on to the feelings you have to that. And so Spirit is saying, shed what's not serving you. And what's not serving you here is, I think, a feeling betrayed or feeling like something's unjust. Okay, and this is why things aren't happening cohesively, why you can't get along or come together with whatever it is. So maybe it's a person here that you want to reconcile with. Maybe it's just you need closure here, in order to find happiness in friendship. Maybe a friend pissed you off and it's like, I won't get over it, or I'm still hung up on my idea of what is right and wrong. So in order to find closure in this situation, to close the chapter, the karmic thing that keeps you sort of in suffering here, the injustice you think is happening here, Spirit is saying there's a need for you to shed some idea, some belief. Okay, now if we don't feel like we're quite there yet inside, we can't lie and say, okay, I just believe it because I read it on tarot. No, how do we do this? We connect with the divine. We open our mind. We start to think outside of how we normally think and think, could this be a possibility? Or is my way of thinking the only right way? That's very limited. And so once we open that mind and say, could it be possible that I'm seeing something skewed? Could it be possible that I'm not absolutely right in what I think is the truth? Could there be another truth going on here? Does this person have their own truth, even though I might not completely see how they come to that conclusion? I can understand why that person would have that perception or that understanding. And so I can accept that that person has this understanding, and that I have my understanding. And so there's these two truths that are happening here. But the objective truth is that things are happening and I need to open my mind space and connect here with the divine in way of seeing something from a more elevated spiritual perspective in order for me to get out of my own sort of thinking. Okay, so I feel like you have an understanding of something that you wish to be. I think you want harmony. I think you want closure. I think you have an ideal sort of dream state of what you think would be possible or what could happen, which is okay to have this sort of an understanding. But what Spirit is saying is you can't create this from the mindset you're in. You have to get out of the confusion. And I think you're really fixated and stuck on this situation as it is here, and it's dictating a lot of the unhappiness here. You feel bound by your energetic karmic tie to this thing. It feels like it's holding you back, or has a hold of you, and it certainly does until you see this truth. It's going to remain sort of holding you back from moving and being able to break free and choose different choices. And, because I feel like spiritually there's different choices on the table here for you, but you're really fixated and hung up on one that you think is the ultimate truth. And Spirit's saying, no, it's not. You feel like it is, but you need to connect to the divine and start to consider other possibilities here, because this is why you're stuck. You're fixated on this thing. You're imbalanced right now, and the situation is imbalanced because you're imbalanced. You need to heal this about yourself. And so in order to create something cohesive with someone else, okay, to celebrate someone else, to be in balance with someone else, to create something of substance with someone else, we have to be an ingredient that is workable and balanced. We're not right now. So this is what you need to work on if you want your situation to have closure, or to break free from devils and illusions and pains and sufferings and a bunch of things that don't make sense to you. Because I feel your situation really doesn't make logical sense. It really doesn't, because in a clown world, which I'll call the Matrix, we have what society thinks is wrong and right. And I think what you're hanging on to is the societal belief. And you'd be like, no, this other belief is what's fake. Why? Because society, the majority of people say that action is right and everything else is wrong. That's just a societal belief. It doesn't matter in this situation or circumstance. We're connecting with something you've never dealt with before. And I don't care if society says this is right or wrong, or that morally this is right or wrong, or that you've always told yourself because you believed it to be right or wrong that this person's unethical, or that they're this, that, and the other. That's just a belief. That's your perception. It doesn't matter to the universe what you think, okay? Let's wipe out all the humans, and all of a sudden we have a whole new introduction of humans. They're going to have a whole bunch of different beliefs and stuff, So they're going to not carry the same social constructs. Right now it's like, oh, someone breaks into your house, they're a robber, it's bad. It's just a social thing. Let's say there's no humans and all of a sudden someone breaks into your house, but you don't have this belief. It's like, oh, my brother, my sister, are you hungry? What happened? Is it raining out there? Are you running away? Like, I get it. That might sound in this day and age, it's like, would you let a stranger in your house? Well, if there was no preconditioned belief collectively, we might. And maybe that person's like, yeah, I was running from the bear who was up the street, or I needed to, I don't know, seek refuge or find some food because my child is, I'm with child and they're hungry and dying. And so it's like, okay, come into my home. I wouldn't stop you from coming here if it was a life or death matter, because you are me and we're all one. So there goes societal beliefs completely out the window. So I don't know what this is. I'm just comparing it to something that majority or predominantly, or an understanding that you have of something here, okay? But I feel like you're making a judgment, and this judgment needs to go away. Okay, so you're not seeing your situation clearly, and I think the truth of the matter will come to you. I feel like Spirit's wanting to give you this information. Like, look at how this is saying the same thing. Okay, you'll be imbued with the divine light of energy to understand and comprehend something differently from an intuitive spiritual knowing, rather than a mind understanding here that's going to give you refuge. So you could see with your eyes closed, I know it, I feel it. I might not understand it so much. And although Ace of Swords, again, like I say, is mind, because swords is mind, it's like we can't use the mind to get the answer, because the mind's going to perpetuate the perception, okay? But the mind can have buy-in once the intuition gets the information it needs and the inner knowing. And now the mind has buy-in, because yes, the mind, okay, is trying to come up with an answer of what it thinks based on preconceived experiences and constructs and beliefs. And so it's making this understanding that's creating disharmony. And what Spirit is saying is, let the Spirit in so that you know intuitively from the heart space, because the heart space is the window to the soul and to the truth, and to Spirit trying to connect with you with a greater understanding of knowing that you don't need to see or even have understood before. It comes to you as an inner knowing, and this understanding, this wisdom will give you the comprehension you need for you to accept and understand and have shifts in situations here. But I feel like you're not quite there. I feel like you are still externally seeing the situation as something that, I don't know, like you need to depend on it providing you with something here, and it doesn't owe you anything. No one owes you anything. Only you can create your reality here. And so once you understand this, then things shift, and then maybe you might get what it is that you are wanting, because what you want, I think the universe does want to give you balance and justice. Like I said, karma always happens. Why this is happening is for you to understand this concept, or else you'll continue to suffer, or else you'll continue to feel like someone owes you something. And that's a skewed perception. It's the devil in your world that you won't be able to break free from if we keep perpetuating this level of understanding. And so Spirit is saying this situation, it could be workable. It could be something that you have closure on. It could be something that shifts. It could be something that you could work with someone to create something. It could be all these things. There's so many potentials and opportunities here, for sure. And maybe you intuitively feel this, but you're so hung up on this one way of thinking or doing what's truthful that it's not allowing this thing to flow. So you hold the ball. You hold the key. This is resonating or reflecting the pile one from yesterday's reading, you guys. Okay, like you could be in a situation with someone here where you feel you deserve something from them, and it's like, no, like if you have this sort of a level of what's it called, expectation, like you're you're expecting someone to do something here, and Spirit is saying then you're skewed, because no one owes you anything, not at all. Okay, so we can't sort of convince the mind once it's bought into a belief. So that's not what Spirit is saying. It's just at least trust and understand, if you're resonating with this, that there's more ways to see this thing, and you're stuck to one way of seeing and understanding it. That's what's getting in the way. So Spirit is saying, yes, your perception is accurate to you. Yes, you could be right in believing this, but there's a greater truth that you're not able to see just yet because you're really fixated and stuck on this belief. And so the person you're dealing with and the situation you're dealing with also has this skewed maybe perception or way, thinking they are owed something, and they feel it's true as well. And they are absolutely right in their perception. Because if you live their life with their karmas, you would think and do exactly as they do, and don't think that you'd be any different. So you have your perception as true and real to you. They have their perception as true and real to them. And then there's the objective reality of what's going on, that people are just being people based on their experiences. So now let's become the observer. Let's raise our level of consciousness. Let's break out of our own perception and pigeonhole thinking and destructive patterns of thinking people owe us, or that we've done this, that, and the other, and therefore this should happen. It's like, no. Anything can happen at any time. There is no this should happen because of that, and that happens because of that. Unless it's the laws of the energy and the universe. That's it. Everything else is subjective. Okay? So we don't know what God's going to do to bring karmas here. But all we're showing is open to the divine. The information you're seeking is coming from the divine. It's not going to come from the mind. Yes, it will make sense to you only until you open the divine, see things from an open perspective, have that inner feeling, connect to that inner knowing. It connects to the heart. It feels right. And then the mind has buy-in. Then we slowly shift our beliefs. And then it's like, now this makes sense. Now it opens this up. Now I'm healed and found balance. Now we can work together. Now I'm independent. Now I have closure. Now we have cohesion with this person. Now the devil is gone. And I can continue to be in this thing. But I'm blocking all of this and all my options because I'm keeping alive the unhealthy belief and the unhealthy way that I engage here. I don't know if this was like this. I think it was, but it doesn't matter because, you're trying to use the mind prematurely. The mind needs to be cleaned of all distortions first, okay? Because if we have experiences and all these beliefs, the mind thinks it knows, and so it's creating all sorts of preconceived actions based on what it thinks it knows. This is what's right and this is what's wrong, and it's like, no, let's clean the slate first. Let's open the door to all the thoughts. Let them run out of your mind. Okay, let it all run out. And now we're objective, and now we can feel intuitively, work with spirits, and we'll tap into whatever blessing we need to. And then we have buy-in from the mind, because slowly the mind starts to see this because it feels so real. Okay, but we have to have conviction and be really open to this. If we want to keep alive the suffering, we keep feeding that belief that's inaccurate. So you definitely got to shed, and this takes being very humble, like, look, this is naked. It might require you feeling like vulnerable, because now you got to trust. So it's like I put down my guard, I put down my defenses, I put down all these things, and I bow to humility that I don't know. That's a feeling of coming into some humble awareness, being completely open to the divine. I don't know anything, God, like, show me the way. I am willing to put everything down here because I don't want to suffer no more. And if you're not suffering and you like perpetuating this, then go ahead. I'm not telling you to do anything different, but these are for people who are really, really suffering. I'm really suffering. I don't want to be in double. I don't want to be in this situation with this person who makes me feel like I'm stuck to it. And I can't, I'm obsessed with this thing being unjust and unfair, and it's hurting me. Okay, well, get on our knees. Be humble. Release. Okay, it's a process, though. It's going to be slowly detaching from these things, shedding of that skin. But it's so freeing. Okay, it's so freeing. Do not feed into a thought that you're having that's perpetuating this. Okay, we might have to think outside the box, but yeah, the mind will have buy-in here. It's not something that's so crazy that it will never make sense to you. It's like, no, it's just saying your mind will have buy-in and an understanding once you tap into the heart space. Then it makes sense. That's what you're going to take action on. That's what's going to provide clarity, okay? I thought I was going to do 2 rounds, but this is your answer, or not your answer, but your, I don't know, opening your pathway so you could see something maybe differently or free you from something here, okay? I hope this helps you. I love you very much, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels, pile number 2. You guys picked the glow-in-the-dark tarot, and we're looking at your current situation, circumstance, and what it is that you're understanding, and what it is that is the absolute sort of truth here with the universe that maybe you're not seeing. And so we might be perpetuating a state of suffering or distortion or illusion if we're not seeing the absolute truth. So if you want to comment, I would suggest you listen to the channeled message at the beginning of this reading, okay? Because you might have your answer there. And so this is the type of reading I'm doing, because my commitment here is to assist you in seeing the true reality here and walk you out of any sort of distortion or belief that you might have in a situation. Okay, and healing isn't easy always, because sometimes the truth might not be pleasant, so no judgment on self. Okay, and so let's see, what are you believing in your situation or circumstance to be true, and what is the absolute truth here? Okay, so Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile number 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good. What is it that they are believing to be true here, and what is the absolute truth? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. So we have Empress energy, which is Libra, Taurus, divine feminine energy, and we have the Fool, and under that we have the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Aquarius. Okie dokie. Let's pull some oracles. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. They're needing to understand here about their perception, their situation. Clear and concise message, Spirit. Thank you so much for this. I did feel one more. 2 more. And one of these for beautiful pile number 2. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting a very intense pressure in my third eye here. Okay. What do we have? Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Okay. You feel this is something about self-forgiveness. So we have 3rd chakra, solar plexus. Okay. I might have to get my little chakras ready here. We have healing. Beautiful. Wow. Love that. We have love. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Unconditional love. Beautiful. Thank you, Lord. And we have change. Okie dokie. Lots of tree energy. Beautiful. So we have struggle. I'm going uphill with this head. The head could certainly house all 3 of the chakras. The throat chakra would be here. Okay, the 3rd eye and the crown chakra. But it could signify the mind. Maybe battling with the mind. This is giving me 10 wands energy. Where do we put it? Let's put it over here. And we have growth. The little, what's it called? Sprout. And we have grounded, more tree energy. And we have body. Wow, and look at the chakras again. Body, physical, pentacle realm, matrix, 3D. Same with this solar plexus type energy here. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot, shall we? We have 2 wands in reverse, and we have the 4 cups, and we have the 3 wands in reverse. We have the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Knight of Wands, and we have 9 cups, and we have the Chariot, Cancer energy. Okay, and then we have the 8 Pentacles, and the 8 Wands. Spirit is funny when it does that. Okay, Temperance, Sagittarius, balance, healing. Okay, let me sit here with this energy. Lots of messages. Okay, Temperance, Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Fool. Okay. 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 Beautiful people. You feel unmotivated, I feel here, to lean into anything that feels like it feels worthy of you pursuing or moving forward and exploring. It's like, I feel there's an energy here of like, I just don't have it in me. I don't feel it. I feel kind of blah. I feel like I want to explore, you know, I want to have passion to explore and to move forward and to grow, but it's like I don't feel it, so I can't fake it. You know, I can't fake that I feel passionately pulled to pull myself out of whatever state I'm in. I'm in a state of 4 cups. It's like even the thought of moving on, like moving on to what? Like, how do I get on from where I'm at? Like, you just feel like there's no choice or road or pathway in front of you, you know, and it's like, okay, like you're not going to, you know, reject any sort of situation that could create stability or a long-term legacy for you, or a partner or someone you could commit to or build with, or a future you could, you know, build to. Like, this is something you would absolutely want to pursue. It makes sense to you. Like, yeah, I'd pursue this, you know, someone who I could rely on or create stability or commit to and that sort of thing. But it's like, that's not where you're at. So it's like, how do I emotionally feel in line with the pathway for me to go towards something that would make me emotionally happy and get there? You know, like how do I find success in getting there? Like, I want to have a new beginning, but I don't want to force it, and it's not coming. So this is how I feel how your energy is, you know. So it's like you're not engaged in emotional and passionate sort of calling here to pull you in any direction because it's not coming. So what Spirit is showing here is that there is some healing that you're doing here, okay? Deep healing here. And I think it's self-healing that you might not even understand. You don't understand, or you don't maybe, yeah, you're not seeing why the universe is putting this sort of in front of you, okay? It's like it's just sort of happening to you, although this is happening for you. And I know we don't like hearing those spiritual terms, but it really is for you, because this state is so annoying to you, you know? Like, who wants to stay here and feel like they have no control over breaking out of this? And it feels like a void energy, you know, like nothing to pursue, nothing that gives me purpose, and all, you already know how you feel, so I don't need to hammer that home, okay? But I think what you want is, yes, I want the chance and the opportunity to move forward and find harmony and find balance and explore and kind of be creating this future, you know? But I feel like what Spirit is saying is this is a balance that you're having to experience within self, and the only way to get balanced is to integrate shadow parts of self. And so I feel like you are in a 3rd chakra, solar plexus energy, which is a lot of the matrix, you know, souls wandering around here in the 3rd chakra predominantly. Okay, this is when we talk about auras, when we see like people who are predominantly in an energy center. Your energy center predominantly is this solar plexus energy. Okay, I do feel you're this beautiful Queen of Wands. Okay, Queen of Wands energy is absolutely beautiful. determined, business savvy, intelligent, no bullshit, it's my way, I'm determined, I'm all these things. But it's like when this gets taken away from you, and I say taken away, it's never taken away, but you're in an energy of void, it's like, ugh, like Queen of Wands never feels like Four Cups, and it's like, this isn't feeling right. And it's not feeling right because the universe is saying this has been your predominant energy. And we're evolving as a species from lower density, okay, third density being, from traumas in the lower chakras, to heart consciousness, which is all about unconditional love. Okay, and this is letting go of egoic things. And so what this means is that what used to make you happy, cars, houses, things, whatever, relationships, whatever you attach to that would give you a false sense of fulfillment, is actually just an illusion. It doesn't, okay? It doesn't bring that in which you thought you got. And this is why it's no longer fulfilling. Because we could continuously upgrade relationships, upgrade homes, upgrade cars, upgrade until we own the world, and we're still running and seeking. Okay, so this is natural development. And this is spirituality, where it says all the material world and all these things cannot bring you the peace and the happiness or the fulfillment or the joy that you are seeking. You will continuously reach that peak, get that promotion, achieve that home, buy that car, and then what? It's not sustainable. Or was looking for the next thing, the next vacation, the next 4 o'clock where I can go home. When I get there, when I finally get there, it's like, ooh, when I get home. And then when you get home, it's like when I go to sleep. And then when you go to sleep, it's like when I get back from work. And we're like in this perpetual state of chase. This is the ego. It thinks, the ego wants to attach to circumstance and things here. Okay. And it only knows of two things. It knows to reject and it knows to attach. That's what the ego does. Okay. It's like, ooh, aversion. I don't like that. I don't like that. And so it resists and attach. I like this. I want this. Okay. But the ego doesn't, it exists within you in your mind, but it's just an illusion of what you feed and the attention you give to it. Okay. But the true reality here is that there is a state of being within you that transcends this egoic way of chasing and being successful and believing what brings you happiness. And it is not from this third chakra, solar plexus energy. And for someone who is very to-do and has their ishness together, trust me, this has been my story, so I can relate with this. I'm very put together. I bring my own happiness. Law of attraction. What I believe unfolds. Things work out for me. I create the things that I get. And I was very much in that. And then it became, I couldn't find happiness here, even though I had everything I could have ever possibly wanted. Why? Why am I bored? Why do I feel this way? Why is because now you're opening your heart. Okay. And the heart, which I thought was always open, and you might think, well, yeah, I felt love before. Well, I was in the heart. I was compassionate. No, this is nothing like you've probably ever experienced before. In order to completely connect to this, we go through this void state because we have to detach from the egoic ideas and understandings that we carried at one time in order for us to start anew here without ego, completely like this baby, this new child from the heart space. It doesn't have preconceived beliefs or stories or egos or attachments, okay? And so this hurts when we go through understanding all this, and then we go through void, where we feel like nothing is put together and nothing's worth living then, because it's like, well, if I don't have this, what's the point of striving? Like, at this point, sometimes we just feel like death is better, Like, I know this feeling. Okay, and death is not better, I assure you. So what this is saying is love comes through the heart space, and this is a gradual process in which we sit with ourselves and truly heal all the parts of us that are blocked, that we didn't even know of, so that our heart opens like this huge beacon of light. Okay, and the huge beacon of light gives us tenfold what this chasing of the car and this material fulfillment would. And we can tap into these states of bliss periodically throughout meditation, or when we're watching, I don't know, like a ladybug on a leaf, or walking through the park, or we see a child playing across the street. So we have these glimpses, that bring us to tears, that connect us to this heart space. And this state is showing you that you can remain in the heart space predominantly with your energy field. Okay, this is heart consciousness, going from third density to fourth density, heart-based consciousness. And now our permanent sort of resonance here is in the heart. And so we start to react out of the heart space. This is where we don't have to seek and attain and attach to anything, but we're always in a state of bliss. Okay, now this doesn't mean bad things happen. I say bad, challenging things. And I always use the analogy of the flat tire or the breakup. Those things still happen. But when we're in the love space, it's like we can't help but see the love in that situation. It's a default state. It's the default state. Okay, this would be, I got to get on to the next thing, or I feel I'm in the doership of creating that thing. And so I get involved and I take action and I got to create and I got to be the one to manipulate. And I'm really focused on outcome. And this is opposite. This is like, I'm open to the universe. I'm in complete receptive energy. This doesn't mean that I'm, a zombie Buddha here that's completely detached, worshiping crystals. This means I've shed the egos, and so in my truest state, which is very unique for all of us, because we all have different sort of harmonies within us based on our chakras and how they resonate. But now it's not distorted with all the beliefs and the matrix stories and upbringings and all that stuff. And so now when I vibrate, okay, without all of the distortion, it's my truest being, I now can respond from a heart place. It's not from a triggered reactive energy that I might have in the past, and so this is the truest state of authenticity. We act from the heart. We see the love in every moment. What's the most loving thing I can do right here, right now? Because I'm connected to my heart. I don't need to get into torment with my mind. I don't need to judge self. I don't need to judge others. I don't need to sit there and contemplate for 10 hours what the right thing is to do and the wrong thing is to do. And I've healed this. I forgave myself in order for me to forgive others. I no longer judge me, and it means I no longer judge others. When I'm completely in this heart space, it's a very beautiful energy of non-judgment, complete heart for my brother, my sister. And we are all one. It sounds very cliche. This isn't a kumbaya, let's just pretend to love each other and keep the peace and avoid truth. Sometimes love is telling the truth, and it's painful. Being honest with everyone and everything is sitting from our authenticity, no longer pretending to be someone we're not, or avoiding things that make us happy. This is me. This is my truth of how I'm feeling now, but it's not driven from fears. It's not driven from distortions. It's not driven from running away or running towards or trying to attach something. I've let that all go. I've burnt it all off. I don't need anyone or anything except for sitting in my pure state of love and being and connect to the divine. And now I'm in balance. Now I'm in harmony. Okay, that's the balance. Oops, the balance that the universe is trying to get you to do so that you can move forward in a victory. Integrate the shadow self. The shadow self right now is your solar plexus. And I think personally, okay, this isn't spirit, this is me talking personally. When we're in this solar plexus and we're strong in this, or ready to graduate into heart, this is so strong. This is the heaviest and the hardest sort of transition here, because we really feel that this is right, and because it's provided for us, and the societal beliefs paint that picture of it being successful if you're well-to-do and you have things together and you have it all and you believe this. But then why is it that I'm so fucking unhappy? It doesn't matter how much I attain and how beautiful I am and all these things and how successful. It doesn't matter. It's so empty. Okay? It's empty. And it will be empty. And then the universe isn't trying to rob you of these things, but it will strip you bit by bit, turn your world upside down. Maybe all these things are no longer there, or just you no longer feel for your business. You no longer feel for that job. You no longer feel for that person. You no longer feel for yourself. It's like, ugh. And it's like, because we need to strip it so that we can forgive the parts of self. And forgive doesn't mean I did something really bad back in 1992 that I've hung on to, maybe. But this is truly looking at self without judgment, because the only reason why we're doing this sort of thing and attaching is because we're judging self. I need to appear and do this, that, and the other, because there's something within me that I'm telling myself that would look in a different way. No, accept us for exactly how we are, I feel like we need to accept self here and extend this within so that we can show it without here, or show it to the outside world, I should say. And so we gotta get into this energy, but I feel like this could be two worlds, like living in the heart space, and then it's like I'm so disconnected from reality. Some of you guys might already know what I'm talking about here, because we have, brief periods of enlightenment, but predominantly we're still in the third chakra, and so now we're having to find the balance And trust me, it's difficult when we make the switch, because we're pushing towards being the permanent resonance of the heart. And that means getting the mind into the heart. But when the mind is always sort of in the predominant energy of the solar plexus, it's acting out of trigger and trauma and response. And so we're bringing the mind slowly up this battle so that it can sit in the heart with us. So now our actions and our responses and how we engage in the world and how we think is really pulled from the heart space, from the true reality and bliss. It's no longer the other way around. And so we got to tip the scales. It takes some time, and look at how difficult it is to get up there, you know? And so I'm not saying it's going to be so hard, but I feel like it's hard for you. It's a struggle for you, and it's a struggle for a lot of people. And you're not anything special. Okay, we are all one. It's difficult for some people because they might have their own sort of hang-ups and things. Everyone has their own hang-ups and things. We got to see, where are we getting stuck? Know that you're making progress. Know that if you are a intellectual being who relies on mind, that you could be at the pinnacle of this, but you're still not ascended and intelligent enough to be living in the heart space, which is way higher level of consciousness, creating space for intelligence. This is more intelligent, you know? So bring your mind there. You know, bring your mind there. That's what you're doing. You gotta sort of be completely in that energy, because if only your heart is there and your actions and your predominant thoughts are still in lower chakras, you're not in harmony. So you're aligning the chakras right now. Okay, root, sacral, solar plexus, which I feel is predominantly yours, driven, will, confident, okay, and then the heart, and then the throat, and then third eye, and then the crown. And so all of these need to be in alignment, meaning there can't be a whole bunch of blocks here in order for energy to flow, so we can become enlightened, so we can be spiritual beings. But we can't just disconnect from the body and the mind and be like, well, that's just the separate self there, let it sort of die out. And we can have that when we reach spirituality. You know, if we're really in the spiritual world, we start to think, hey, it doesn't matter if I die or not, anyway, I'm this light being. It's like, true, but you're still here, and your body is still here in this 3D matrix world of the dream. Okay, and so we need to be in balance. We need to find balance within the 3D world of what's going on around us, but we can't attach to it. And we have to bring in spirituality, you know, the divine. There's other dimensions going on here that we connect to. And so we connect to the heart. And the heart is, meaning the energy can flow up to this. But if there's blocks here, the energy cannot flow. Okay, it cannot flow. So right now we're removing blocks. And I think the big block you have here is in this solar plexus. And that is driving a lot of your actions. You know, you might have an ego about you that is getting in your own way. You might think you're better than you are, but really it's, you don't. Underneath that, you feel you need to prove something. So you don't feel better than you are. Underneath, there's a need to see self for how you truly are. You're just like everybody else. Okay, and that's fine. You're just like everyone else underneath things, you know, not with their traumas. Okay, underneath your pure being, your divine being here. It needs to be pure. You need to connect to what that is. So you're experiencing change in your world, and I think you're not used to it. If you were accomplished, if you were having success, if you felt the thrill to life, and now you don't. This is why this change is happening, okay? Or it could be the universe just flipped your world completely upside down, and now you're not used to this change, and you're wondering, why is this happening? You know, and it's happening in order for you to move forward towards creating your legacy and balance and harmony, and creating something here that would passionately pull to you and let you move on and expand and grow spiritually, physically. Okay, but I feel like you're getting in your own way of moving forward when we resist, or we try to upkeep the solar plexus stories alive. Okay, so what we need to do is embrace that we are being reborn here, and we're having growth. We need to ground ourselves in reality. Okay, and the reality is that we are spiritual beings that are, you know, partaking in this play that we call the Matrix. And so we can't be too attached to it, but at the same time, it's like we can engage in the dance of the universe here. But once we connect to love and to the true unconditional love of self, then it's like we make decisions that are very peaceful and in line and harmony, and we're no longer suffering. Okay, we feel whole, complete, balanced. And we could sit with ourselves and nothing at all and be completely happy, like truly happy, you know, not pretend, not convincing ourselves that we're some sort of Buddha state, but we find Satori, we find bliss. because we feel very whole. We connect to the divine. We connect to the heart. It's a beautiful energy. You know, it's not these highs and lows. It's not swinging on a pendulum of the ego. You know, now I'm happy, now I'm chasing something. Now I got it, and now it released. And now no, it doesn't swing. It's very consistent. It's stable. And that's why enlightenment and spirituality is very peaceful. It's very calm. You know, it's not, I'm so happy all the time. It's not, I'm so optimistic that I'm like swinging from a chandelier. And I'm hearing Sia and the chandelier. I'm peaceful. I'm calm. I find love. You know, and so this creates a lot of space around you. And so this is actually a higher vibration. Okay, although people who are in this state seem very calm, they seem like they're in a lower vibration. They're not. They're in a higher state of vibration, higher level of consciousness, because now they've created space, they've removed distortions, so they could be completely present to deal with present moment situations in the present, to take note of what's going on around them. They're not in their mind. They're not thinking about 4 o'clock. They're not constantly on this to-do list and living in their mind, you know, living in their mind, that they're missing what's going on in front of them. They created space. They're in the heart, ready to serve, completely open, perceptive, at peace, making space to deal with what they need to. Service to others, service to self, feeling the joy, feeling their purpose, allowing things to flow, creating their reality. Then they're in 9 cups. They're fully fulfilled, fully happy, fully peaceful, fully blissful. You know, that's what's going to happen here. Okay, so if you're feeling unhappy, it's because there's a resistance, and know that this is the change that's happening one way or another. Beautiful pile number 2. This is your reading. I love you so much. I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3. You guys picked the Tarot of Oneness. This is my favorite deck for the longest time. I have a feeling this is going to be very deep. Beautiful energy I'm getting from the deck of the Tarot of Oneness from this pile. So we're looking at, beautiful angels, pile number 3, your understanding, your perception of what's going on in your world and your situation, your reality, okay? And then we're going to look at the objective truth, like what's really going on then, you know? Maybe we have some distortions, maybe we have some beliefs that are getting in the way, that we don't see, you know, past our own shadows or hurts or understandings. And so that's what this reading is intended to do. So now if you're going to comment on something, please listen to the collective reading at the beginning, or the collective channeled message at the beginning of this video, because that might answer some of your questions, okay? This is always intended to provide healing. Okay, I love you very much. And so healing sometimes is difficult when we have a difficult time maybe accepting truths or understanding certain things, okay? So if it feels like it hurts, doesn't necessarily mean it's not your pile. But if it doesn't resonate or make any sense to you, definitely not your reading, not your pile, and I'm not going to force you to listen or to stay here, okay? Just because you clicked on it doesn't mean it's your message. Okay, so Spirit, clear and concise message here for beautiful pile number 3. What is it that they're understanding to be in their situation, circumstance, or energy field? And what is the objective truth? What is the real or what is the truth about what they need to understand about their situation here in order to help alleviate whatever's going on? I dropped a card. Give me a second. So this fell like this. I do feel those two were together. Okay, so clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Spirit, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here, so grateful. I realize you have a lot of readers to go see, and so I appreciate you coming here to see me and to listen to these messages. I feel there is one more. No, I feel there's one more. Okay. Balance. I do feel it's like that. Although that might be the only one. I read in reverse. Okay, so look at that. Interesting. 8 of Cups, and we have the scissors cutting this rope and release, which revealed itself. Okay, and so we have this balance that is imbalanced because it's in the reverse. So 8 of Cups is walking away. It's certainly about releasing something, you know, in order to find emotional happiness. Something might need to be let go of. So clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. I do feel one more of pile number 3. Spirit, thank you so much. We are so blessed for this message. Please help me to channel in a way that will allow pile 3 to heal and understand what is being communicated to them. Okie dokie. Loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Feel like crying, you guys. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Okie dokie. I love your energy, you guys, just who you are. It's coming through here, very beautiful. So I feel like crying here because I don't like your situation. Connect. Feel. We have the moon there. Moon's about emotions, subconscious, fears, feminine energy. Okay, maybe something we're not seeing, something in the subconscious we need to fully feel here, but it might create a lot of fear. Root. Getting grounded, planting roots, balance. Okay, the sun and the moon, feminine, masculine, feminine energy, finding balance, peace with the dove. Okay, inner union, something meaning grounding here, grounded, yep, and mystery. Okay, so this is high priestess energy, Pisces energy. Here's the moon in the background here, so still feeling that fears or the unknown or something we don't see, you know. Purple is all about spirituality and potentially connecting with the divine and mysticism. Okay, so let's see, what does the tarot show us here? So bottom of the deck, we have 2 of Wands. So this is giving me, normally traditional 2 of Wands, we see 2 wands. This is circular. So I feel like there is something we feel stuck in, something that could be cyclical, something that might need closure or need to come to an end, and we feel stuck or trapped in it, repeating certain things is what I feel. But we want the choice to move on, or we have a choice to move on, but we think or feel stuck in something. Okay, this is also bringing in the card of glass in the archetype cards, or the whatever, you don't care which pack, but there's a card called glass, and it's like when we hold up the glass, you know, it's like a magnifying glass. We could see clearly in sort of one focused area, as long as that glass is sort of cleaned, not to distort it, you know, in order to bring it into focus. And we might be dealing with a lot of things, but we need to maybe get into focus something that maybe we're not seeing clearly, or bring it better into perspective. Okay, that's not your traditional 2 of Wands, by the way, if you're learning how to read tarot. 2 of Wands is about a choice and a decision. One choice is to stay in the same old thing, comfort zone, okay? And the other choice is maybe pulling us out of our comfort zone. You know, it's the path of the Dharma, having to make a decision. We're at a crossroads here. Okay, so the Fool in reverse, Aquarius energy, and we have synchronicity, and it's in reverse. This card has special, or this deck, this tarot pack. I should slow down. This tarot pack, sorry guys. I read fast sometimes when I'm channeling. You can play it on slow or fast, whatever. It has special cards in this deck that aren't your traditional. Okay, there's a few of them. So synchronicity is exactly that. Like we're seeing angel numbers, dreams, symbols, signs, names, hearing, seeing things. Okay, synchronicities where the divine is guiding us, and things seem to be sort of aligning. Now, we can't explain what the synchronicities. This is in reverse, and we have the 10 of Cups. Ultimate utopian happiness here. You know, 10 Cups is 2 people coming together, 2 families coming together, you know, to create harmony, to commit for a long term, creating abundance and happiness, emotional bliss. The dolphins here, or the whales, I don't know if those are whales or dolphins. I think those are whales. We're talking about abundance, you know, love, abundance, companionship. Okie dokie. And we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, this is the self-independence card. This is creating a world that we've built ourselves, and so we're confident and capable, standing on our own 2 feet, to fend for ourselves and to upkeep the world we've created here. And in the reverse, it might mean we're, you know, dependent on something or someone else, or some sort of dependency on something, or just not standing on our own, not confident in our own ability, or haven't created the thing yet. Okay, Inspiration of Cups. So this is the Page of Cups. This is opening the heart space. Page of Cups is innocent energy here, because it's the infancy stage of either falling in love or opening the heart, or creativity or psychic ability. Okay, we're feeling a lot of purple energy here. The Page of Cups. And we have 8 of Swords, and it is in reverse. So 8 swords is the mental limitation that we have because of a belief, a story, an understanding we may have that is not necessarily true. So we feel stuck in a prison, you know, of the mind, of the limitation that is not true. Someone told us something we believe, or we carry a thought that we believe to be true, or we are upkeeping some illusion of the fact that there is a limitation on something that is not necessarily true about us or our situation. Okay, now 3 of Cups in the reverse. So 3 Cups has very many meanings. I don't know which one's pulling through just yet, but we'll go through some of them. 3 Cups sometimes is a reconciliation, a coming together, and a celebration. Okay, we see 3 Cups here, so it could be relationships, dynamics, how we get along with people and connect with people. Relationship dynamics is really what's coming through here. A network of friends and our groups of people. Okay, but sometimes 3 Cups could, when it's in the reverse, it could be, for me, distractions, like over partying or over drinking or keeping things light or not allowing things to get too deep, especially with this Page of Cups here. This is like, these two together would be, I can't get deep, or I don't allow my heart to be completely open in a way here that allows me to be vulnerable because it might hurt me, or I just haven't experienced this and I don't know what this is like. Okay, so let me tap into what this energy is here, okay? Let's see. Now, like I always say, except I didn't say it at the beginning of this one or the intro, when I read energy, if you're tied to someone who's energetically charged in your energy field, sometimes I tap into their energy. So you might flip it, okay? But sometimes we think it's someone else's and it's ours. And we're just so in the minutia, lost in our subconscious, that we don't see that it's ours. Okay, so just sometimes we mirror too. It could be us and someone around us, but just keep that in the back of your mind. It should be something that resonates, okay? Okie dokie. So a lot of it came out as I laid all this out, okay? Because if you're still here, you obviously resonate with a lot of this. But now I'm going to put it all together for you. I love your energy because I feel like you're learning something here very profound, okay? And it could be really, really challenging. So my heart goes out to you because this is something that makes us feel just, we don't know what's happening to us, okay? I feel like you could be completely just unhinged here, like however you define that. Like my world's either fallen apart or I'm just completely upside down here and trying to make sense of it and trying to get grounded. Like, I don't know, your energy could be feeling hijacked, by someone else or a situation here that makes no sense. And it's like, I don't understand what's going on. And so therefore I don't know what's real really and what's sort of fake maybe, like when it comes to connecting to spirituality and what you're supposed to be doing here in the real world. I use quotations. Because we're still here in this real world of the Matrix. And it's like, how am I supposed to engage here? And then how much am I supposed to really just detach and fly away to this spiritual world here that I'm being called to do? So I feel like you're being called 100%. Beautiful angel. Okay. You're having dreams, signs, symbols, synchronicities, experiences with people here that you can't explain. This is the divine reaching out to you. You're not crazy. Okay. You're highly protected here, heavily protected. All of this is happening for a reason. Do not deny, suppress, or be afraid of sign, symbol, synchronicities. Okay? Know that they're happening for you in order to guide you. So there's no need to resist. I feel like you have to know what scale you're at. And you could be slowly moving out of this energy, but for some of you guys, you might still be early on. Okay? So just gauge where you fall. You might be resisting what's being shown to you. Because in the Matrix world, we're not used to seeing, like, I don't know, 222, 333, 444, like a million times a day, and it's driving us nuts, and we don't know what it means, or these dreams that are intense, and we don't know what it means, and so we're just sort of frozen here, and Spirit is saying, this is showing you in order to get you to move, to start anew, to trust in the divine, to trust in the spiritual world. This is like entering spirituality from a new perspective here that maybe you have not seen or engaged with or danced with or trusted, like you yourself trusting yourself by connecting to the divine and these spiritual experiences without resisting, suppressing, or pretending that they're for someone else who's woo-woo and it's not real or whatever. Because your world, I have a feeling, was very stuck, okay? And so I feel you're in a situation now that's also stuck, or you don't see a way out, but I feel like overall, your energy before this circumstance or this situation that you're experiencing was stuck, and it was stuck maybe in a spiritual way. It wasn't allowing you to expand or grow in a new sort of capacity here to bring you into a beautiful future that's meant for you, that will happen, no doubt in my mind, okay? But right now I think we're not experiencing this beautiful 10 cups with someone else, creating this beautiful harmony with relationship, like beautiful energy here, not only for us, but others we engage with to create the family, the beautiful energy. It's up there for you. We couldn't get to this state without going through what we're going through. We could have maybe experienced relationship. We could have maybe experienced happiness, but it was fleeting and it was on a pendulum. Okay, we're always chasing someone or something, and then we get it, and then it slowly starts to disappoint, and then we swing, and then we start to feel aversion to certain things, and we resist, or we fight, or we ignore, and we suppress, and then we're sort of, oh, this makes me happy, and oh, and then oh. So spirituality, connecting to an inner state of bliss and happiness, knowing what true connection's about. I feel like you haven't built your future yet here. You're learning about being independent on your own to create a world for yourself where you don't need anyone or anything. Okay, you're abundant. You've created what you need to in the material world, although the material world isn't the thing that sustains you. Like this relationship and where I live and what I've created is the thing that's dictating my happiness. It's like, how do you find your ability to stand on your own, regardless of whether things are coming or people are coming or going? Okay, because I feel right now there's a heavy dependency on the material world. What relationship I'm in, or where I live, or what's happening in the material world is going to dictate whether I'm successful or not, or whether I'm whole or complete or not. And that's not true. So you're opening your heart space here. And with the heart space comes opening of the intuition, the mind, psychic abilities. We're connecting to the divine. We start getting downloads. We start seeing synchronicities. We're connected to dreams. And this is very foreign at first here, okay? This is very foreign. This is the onset of a spiritual awakening. We're connecting with the divine. So what are we learning? We're learning about releasing in order to trust the universe, detaching from things that we're attached to in the material world. That might be very difficult. Relationships, family situations, understandings we have. This is what's going to align you to your 10 cups with the people, your spiritual groups of people, your relationship that you're meant to sort of build with, and your world, okay? But we can't create the thing in order to build the stability again, or else we're still in the pendulum. So in order to get there, ironically, we have to not be attached to it. We have to detach from all of that, not be thinking in the matrix mind that people, situations, and things is what we need in order to upkeep. We don't. That is a construct of the mind. And so when we do this, it's a very challenging, difficult process to release and trust the divine, because we haven't really inner experienced this. The only thing we know to be true is what we see with our eyes. Because we're maybe not very spiritual beings in the sense of trusting in faith in the divine. So you could say, well, I've always been spiritual, I always trusted in God, or I always had, no. This is beyond anything you could ever possibly imagine here, because true trust would be faith in detaching from everything, completely free falling, like this fool. And you haven't done this. So you could tell me all you want that you were this, that, and the other, and I would say, well, this is a whole new level here. You might have believed in a God, you might have prayed to a deity out there. That's nothing to do with this. This is knowing that you yourself are a divine being. You yourself are an expression of God. You yourself are the creator here, creating your future. So we're detaching from certain things in order for us not to be dependable in the matrix world, which is painful. And we have to know truly that there is no limitation. And so you're detaching from anything that holds you back. Any mind story, any beliefs that you think is limited, wherever it might be. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm a very carefree. I do what I want. But it's like you still have a limitation. You still have a limiting thought story going on wherever it may fall to. Some people might have a very narrow limiting thought pattern where they're still in the same, in their mother's basement, haven't left their hometown. And someone could be, oh, I traveled the world, I did all these things, and I'm all this free. But what we're still limited because we still think maybe that traveling or houses or people or things are what's going to bring us happiness here. That's a limitation. So we're learning on detaching from all limitations, releasing from mind stories. This is opening heart space. Opening the heart space doesn't feel very good, because when we have to let go and detach from these things, it feels very painful. Okay, it feels painful, but it is liberating. And so then we start to really connect with the heart space. Then everything opens up. Our creative passions open up. We start to connect to the divine. We start to get inspired, and we start to really lean into unconditional love. So the right people come in, the right circumstances, our soul tribe comes in, the right relationships come in. We're no longer limited. We're now aligned. We now can get focused on something here. But I feel like right now we're stuck in something, not knowing how to go about it, or we think we're trapped. And it's like the universe is telling you, okay, because this is the title of this reading, what you think is going on and what's actually going on. I think you think that you have less choice in the matter here, and the universe is saying this choice is always in front of you to choose the path that you haven't gone down, but you're not wanting to take the risk or the trust here to just trust and leap towards this, because you think you might need to line things up, or things need to be this, that, and the other before I can choose or walk this path. You're always going to be hanging on to that. It's not going to align to that. This is what you're learning. So until you get to there organically, then we're still living from the old self. And so your dreams will intensify. The synchronicities will intensify. You're just perpetuating your mind story that you need to have this, that, and the other in order for you to then take the path or choose the wand. And Spirit's saying, no, the wand's already there. The wand is there. You're the one stuck. You're the one seeing this narrow perspective of what's not going to work. You're the one still hanging on to certain things that don't make you happy. You know, and you might say, well, they keep me in reality in some way, but it's no, you're emotionally unhappy. You got to understand what makes you happy and detach from everything else. Cut the cords. You're attached to certain things, people, places, identifying with things that aren't you. You're the things. You're not the mom, the dad, the brother, the sister, the teacher, the aunt, the uncle. You're a divine being here that existed at birth. That's the you you're returning back to. Okay, so I feel like once we balance this, we get very grounded in an energy here, connected to the divine, and we know how to manifest it here in the material world. And there are 9 pentacles. You know, we're balanced, we're grounded. We're not floating in some spiritual space, you know, of spiritually bypassing, you know, having dreams of what spirituality could be, but then living a world that's completely opposite or connected or separate from the divine. So you're still living in some sort of separation consciousness here, you know, and Spirit's saying you're going to get grounded in bringing the spiritual realms down here so you could create independence for yourself in a way that looks different than maybe what you're used to. I feel right now you're doubting the divine, which means you doubt yourself. You doubt that things could happen in a certain way that you're being guided to do. You're not trusting that you're protected to take this leap of faith and to go towards the thing. And so therefore the doubt creates what it is that you're experiencing, you know? So you're creating balance, but you're imbalanced right now because you're still hanging on to things that need to go. And I feel like this loneliness is coming from the separation consciousness. So as long as we think we're an independent I, we'll forever be chasing or forever separate from other people and other things. We're creating an independent I, you know, here that is dependent on the matrix world. And so we are connected to everyone and everything, and we could feel divine bliss and unity consciousness, which will resolve this loneliness. We won't feel pain, suffering, you know, separate from the ones we love or the things we love. But I feel like you still feel this loneliness because there's still an illusion of separation. There's an illusion of being separate from certain things that we need to make us whole and complete. And you do not. That is only a perception of what you're carrying here that is untrue. Okay, so once we find balance, then we can plant roots and get grounded in a situation that I feel you want to solidify. You know, but you're not there yet because we're still dependent on the matrix world. We're still not trusting. We're still not taking the leap of faith. We still didn't go down that path. But once you do, boy, oh boy, look at this. Grounded, abundant, okay, completely in balance, completely in satori, completely unmoved by what's going on out there. We're not feeling lonely or separate, feeling complete with the universe, completely attached to the universe in what it's delivering to me right here, right now, without forcing it. I'm in union and in dance with the universe. I'm in union with myself. I'm fully balanced. I'm not driven by triggers. I'm not driven by sadness. I'm grounded and I can manifest what I need to here, okay? But right now, we don't see this because we're not trusting and we're still doubting. And I feel like we need to submerge ourselves in the subconscious and face the fears we have. There are deep fears here. Fears in trusting, to take a leap, to trust the divine, to make changes in our world, to free us from certain things we're dependent on, to release and cut cords from people, places, things that we think we need. That's creating separation consciousness. No, it's just making you feel separate, okay? And it's making you feel emotionally like you're not getting what you want. Because I feel like there's something here that you could definitely create that's absolutely beautiful and fulfilling. But here we go like just dabbling in what doesn't feel good. And so we're sitting here in our emotions feeling this, but we're not like totally submerged here in the fear understanding of our subconscious here in order to say, hey, you know what? I need to cut this out of my life even though I have a lot of fear around this, this would be the right thing to do. I'm going to feel into it. This feels right, you know? So I feel you want connection. You want to connect, you know? And I feel like we can't quite connect there with that person or people or whatever's going on here. So why is this happening to you? Because we're here not able to connect to this deep place. We might think we are, but we never experience it, so we don't know what it feels like to truly connect to a heart place. This is why this is happening, for you to really connect, you know, with everyone and everything, to know that you are one with everything, you are connected, and to create this. But you need to know what this feels like, you know, or else we think we're connected, or we think we have something, but it's really just from the material aspect of it. We'll still feel lonely every once in a while when that person leaves, or when that thing shifts, or when that relationship no longer works, or when that person no longer shows interest or cares or whatever. It's like, no, you're constantly connected here to the divine, to everyone and everything, all the time. We're not separate, so there's no need to feel ever lonely, okay? But we have to get there organically. You got to get there organically. So this is what's happening to you. It's showing you to release that thought process, showing you to release any sort of constructs of the mind you might have here, even though you don't know where this is taking you to. That's about having faith in the divine. You know, if you really are a spiritual being here, it's having trust and faith in God. Trust that you don't know and you can't see where this leap is going to, but do you trust the divine enough to know that spiritually there's this universe here that when you let go, surrender, trust the fall, leap into this mystery, you're going to find the happiness here. But I feel like your fears are holding you back. The reality of the matrix is holding you back. Your experience is dictating whether you should hang on or dance or do a little more, or it's not the right time, or I don't know, whatever. But you know what? It's your journey, and so it's happening exactly as it should. So there's no need to put pressure or judge yourself and say, oh, I just can't trust yet, so I'm a horrible person. No, we'll get there. You're just balancing this out. You know, you'll get there in your own time. If you believe that there's a limitation right now, that's what you believe. Just keep an open mind to know that any limitation you have is one that you're creating, and it is coming from separation consciousness, that you're independent from God, that you're independent from everyone, and you're not. You're connected. So no need to feel separate and lonely, or like you're out not exploring or enjoying a beautiful thing here because of you being withheld from it. No, it only feels like it's not here because you're not there. It's already happening. The universe is happening right now. You can partake in this, or you can partake in the limitation. It's up to you. And the only way to partake in this is to release what doesn't serve, walk away, release the limitation, detach from the attachment, let it go, surrender, and choose the wand to go down that path. Okay, beautiful pile 3, this is your reading. I love you so much. I hope this helped you see clearly, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 4. You guys picked the Rainbow Heart Tarot. I gotta tell you, like, I kept delaying buying this deck, and then when I bought it, I was like, I like it so much more than I thought I would. So, beautiful deck. I love it. So colorful. Makes me happy. Hopefully this is a happy message, but we're looking at your understanding of your reality, okay, of what's going on in your world, your perception, and your understanding, and then we're looking at what is the truth of what's actually going on, okay, the objective truth. So it might be that we're not prepared to hear it, okay, but I do intend on delivering what the Spirit is showing here. So how we know it's our message, it might be something we resist or feels painful. That doesn't mean it's not our message, okay? If it doesn't make sense and we just don't understand, then it's not our message, okay? So just because it's maybe something that we don't want to hear doesn't necessarily mean it's not the right message, okay? So before you comment, I said on all these piles, listen to the channeled messaging at the beginning of the video before you comment, because that might answer your question, okay? So you'll know what this reading is all about and whether you're supposed to be here or not, okay? So my intention and my commitment to you is to help to heal and communicate to you what you're needing to know, okay? Not to hold back, and between you and the divine is what you're prepared to hear and not, okay? So let's see. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile number 4. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for pile number 4, for the greatest good of pile 4. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, pile 4, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed, so grateful to be here. I realize you guys have a lot of readers you can go see, and you guys are choosing to be here, so I am so blessed. So let's see, Spirit, what is it that pile 4 is understanding in one way? And what is the truth of what's actually going on, or the true objective truth of reality? What are they not seeing or understanding here? And what are they thinking? Okay, so let's pull some, how many do we have here? 3? Okay, let's pull some oracles as well. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number, did I say 3? So sorry, pile number 4. No, I said 3 cards, sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Oracle, Spirit, clear and concise message, pile number 4. What is it that they're needing to see that might be skewed in their perception, their understanding of their situation or their circumstance or their overall energy? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of what they're needing to hear. Thank you so much, Spirits. We are so blessed to have this message. Please help me to channel this clear and concise message in the best way for pile number 4 to possibly understand what it is that's being communicated. Okie dokie. Beautiful angels. Let's see. What do we have? We have peace. Beautiful. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. Empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Beautiful. Home. This person looks restricted or confined. Home. 4 wands I'm getting here. Roots. Family. Self-care. Emotions. Foundations. Mother. Children. Women. Femininity. With the 4th house. That's what I'm feeling. So we have give. Okay, so we know giving and receiving are all one. When we give, we receive. It's a flow state. Okay, we see the sprouts. It could be growth. Open hands. Giving, receiving. Expand. 3 wands. Expanding consciousness, expanding self. We see all the arms. So arms could be different things, multi doing certain things here as well. Maybe we're doing certain things. Doership. Giving multiple things, maybe. Reconnect with spirits. This is beautiful. I think this came out for one of the piles. I'm not sure which one. But we see the serpent, and the serpent is all about healing, all about wisdom, shedding the old. Reconnect with spirits, tapping into the divine. Spirituality, 3rd chakra. This came out, I think, for pile 3. No, pile 2, I think. So solar plexus energy. This is the will, the confidence, the drive. Okay, a lot of our egos are stored in 3rd chakra. You know, how we think we need to be or what we need to do. The doership's coming through again with the solar plexus. Okay, and then we have communication. So this is throat chakra energy. This is about self-expression. But communication is not only in words, it's also what we do. You know, because what we do and support is the truest form of expression. We could believe one thing and do another, or say one thing and do another as well. So are we in line with our truest form of expression? Also, it is about how we receive. You know, communication is about me being open to intake what it is that you're saying and what you're doing in a proper way without distortion, without tagging on my own traumas and projections onto receiving the communication being given to me. I'm an open channel to give and receive, untainted. So this communication comes through in a clear state that I can deal with here without contamination. Okay, so let's see. We have 3 wands, which I was certainly feeling with this expand. This is all about doing the groundwork in order to expand and move. We're ready to grow and to move. This could be travel. Knight of Wands, more movement. One of the quicker moving knights. Okay, about passion, forward movement. But the Knight of Wands can run out of energy quite quickly here. So he fizzles out. It's like a match, you know. Might be very inspired to act, but there's maybe no yeah, like what's the game plan here, or the long term potentially. So the Hermit, Virgo energy, introspection, reflection, know thyself. Okay, and we have Temperance, Sagittarius energy, balance, healing. Patience. 8 cups, walking away, what doesn't emotionally fulfill us. It could certainly be still remaining, potentially in a situation, but having to go inwards. So we disengage emotionally in order to reflect. You know, because Eight of Cups doesn't necessarily mean so much as cutting it off as it does pulling our emotions in order to reflect on what we want, what our goals are. Okay, 8 Cups. 10 Cups in reverse. Absolute emotional happiness with another. So this could be the ideal thing, could be blocked, or the full potential isn't realized here. Okay. And we have the King of Cups, emotions. This is the king that loves the deepest here. He is very mature. He knows how he feels, but he might not know how to take action or express self with communication. All right, so we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. And we have the 7 Pentacles. Okay, so this is the effort and the energy and the dedication and commitment we put into something that might not be producing the fruit. So here I'm hearing patience again, you know. It's like, how much patience do we have in feeding something? Here we see all the chakras. So it's like maybe we're putting the energy, the effort towards our own self or healing certain things, but we don't see the fruit. Let's see, 5 Pentacles in reverse. So this is coming out of a state of lack. Lack mindset, being out in the cold and not getting what we want in the pentacle realm here. Okie dokie. And then we have the world. So I'm going to make it people. Okay, the world. We see the Ouroboros. So Ouroboros is the cycle of life, you know. So we end one cycle in order to begin a new. And the world is closing something out in order to start a new phase, a new cycle. But it's the end of a chapter, really. Okay, and so what's under this 3 Wands? The Emperor, Aries energy, Divine Masculine. This is this solar plexus. Could be ego, but it's like taking order, taking doership, feeling empowered. 3 Wands. I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, let me sit with this energy, pile number 4, and tell you what this is all about, okay? I feel like I need more even, you know. I feel like this stopped short, but we'll see. Justice under that. Libra. What's under that? Sorry, guys. Knight of Cups. Yeah. What's under that? 6 of Cups in reverse. Yes. What's under that? 7 of Wands in reverse. I feel like there's a whole storyline here. 4 of Wands in reverse. Yes. And then the Hierophant. Yes. Taurus. And then the Moon. Yes. And the Hangman. Yes. And then the 5 Wands. And then the 2 Pentacles. And then the Knight of Swords. The 4 of Cups. And the Queen of Wands. Okay, and let's keep going. I have a feeling this is complete. This sometimes happens to me when I go and I'm channeling and the Lovers and the Page of Pentacles and everything. That can't happen because we're stuck. Okay, there's a big chain of events here. Butterfly effect. One thing's going to lead to another, lead to another, lead to another. This is so divinely guided here for you, okay? This could be somebody you're dealing with, okay? Or it could be your energy. You'll have to dictate what it is. I do feel one little energy, okay, of maybe somebody you're dealing with here. Or like you, and then the predominant, the person you're dealing with, okay? Or if this is your predominant energy, then I could feel someone else's energy up in the mix here, okay? And that's your circumstance that you're dealing with, because I think there's a circumstance, okay? But on a grand scheme of what I'm reading here is your own energy and what Spirit is showing you or the person you're dealing with, okay? Only you know. I'm going to read it as you. So, butterfly effect. You have something going on here, I feel, that's going to allow you to move forward in your life. Okay, it's beautiful energy. It allows you to be empowered. It opens up doors for your future and all this wonderful, beautiful stuff. But in order to get here, we have to overcome certain parts of self here that are really challenged here, okay? And the only reason why we need to overcome and work with this is in order to restore balance to self, so we could become workable in the new energy and the new world that we're rowing towards, so we can close out the chapter in our world here. That it was beautiful. It was beautiful at a point in time. It was emotionally fulfilling, you know, and we might not really know yet how to close that chapter. We were seeing 6 Cups in reverse here. So it's like your hometown or your family life or the thing you built or your soulmate that you've been tied to at the hip forevermore. you know, or your friends or your soul tribe that you grew up with, your buddies from high school. I don't know. All I know is that there's some thing that it was beautiful in your world, and it still is, you know, it still is beautiful because it existed in your world. But in this time space, okay, this time space where nothing is permanent, where nothing is permanent, we have to move and flow with life. And so we experience beauty, and now the universe wants to move you towards something beautiful. That is your next phase here of life. And we can only go there when we close something out in order to make space. I feel like you love whatever this new thing is. It would excite you, okay? But we can't feel the full excitement here of what this is, or the love enough to just drop everything and go, because we're still tied to having to overcome moving from what we are still sort of engaged and attached to. And so I feel like the longer we're engaged and attached to the past of what we experienced, you know, it's kind of keeping the future state on hold here. And I feel like the future state isn't going to just be suspended here in a forever state, but it is something we can explore only once we learn and detach from the way we're sort of still emotionally invested, or the understanding we still have with the world that we know. So I feel like we need to find a state of peace and balance and harmony in naturally detaching from something here that feels natural to you. It does, because it served a purpose here, okay? I feel like you're a beautiful being here, and you have a lot of love, you know, a lot of love. And so I feel like the old environment of whatever it was that was good is cramping your style. It's not allowing you to grow. It's not allowing you to move forward. And so you might want to sit there, you know, but you're not the same energy you were in the past. And the past is now come and gone. And so this is like a big kid sitting in a high chair, okay? And so Spirit is saying, in order for you to accept beautiful blessings in your life now, like actual blessings, we have to be able to give of ourselves. And when we're like this, we're not giving of ourselves. We're limiting ourselves. And so in order to give, we have to be open. We have to be open to what the universe wants to give to us, but we have to be able to give as well. You know, we can't just be taking and trying to fit or form or maintain something, because now we're taking and keeping, okay, which is the opposite of giving and receiving. When we take and keep, this is ego. This is stemmed from fear. This is stemmed from lack. If I let go, then I won't have. If I move on, then I'm, you know, missing out. And so we could believe this understanding, but we're limiting ourselves in our growth and our expansion. But this is coming from some solar plexus sort of block here in trusting ourselves and having the, I think you need a little bit of a confidence in your decision to pursue something that speaks to your heart, rather than, because I experienced something that was fulfilling, it's the only thing that I know for certain, so therefore I'll stick to the certainty, rather than allowing myself to flow in something that feels good, but I don't know for sure because I haven't experienced it. It could be bliss. It could be that it doesn't work out. So what's the point of taking a chance or risk on this thing or pursuing this when I know for sure here it's still, you know, it provided me with a service or a thing, but it's like it did at one point, yes, but now it's no longer doing this. So we're living in some sort of a desired state of hoping that it could support us. It can't. This high chair can't support you anymore. You're needing to expand. And in order to expand, we need to take action. Okay. And when you listen to my readings, I'm not all about this I, or this little self doing doership. I got to create my own sort of, you know, outcome here, and I'm in control and the universe is separate. We dance with the universe, but I feel like this message for you is there is something to do. And you have lots of opportunity to do it in the new world, or in your new state, or in the new thing that you feel like you have love for here. But it requires you to move out of your old energy. Your old energy isn't producing. Okay? And so your old energy is going to produce suffocation, limitation. It doesn't allow you. So you need to take action. You need to feel confident and empowered to take the energy of your own sort of being into action. Okay? You got to trust what you want. And I think what you want is a state of happiness here for yourself for the long term. Who doesn't? But maybe we don't know that this thing or this future would bring us this happiness. It seems like a distant wish or a desire. And so it's more safe to stay in the thing here that's produced at one point in time. Okay, but you still know and trust or have some intuitive knowing or a deep understanding of what you want and happiness. And this could appear, it could be, but we're not trusting in the coulds so much that we're playing it safe. And Spirit is saying then we'll never expand, we'll never grow. And so even if this falls flat on its face, which I don't think it will, but let's just say it does, it's still you trusting the divine and growing and expanding. And this thing is still suffocating you. It's not going to sustain you. Your only course of action is to move in this direction. And it feels right. You're telling me it feels right. You're telling me that staying in the energy you're in isn't sustainable. And you're also saying that, but I can't, find it within me yet to move out of this energy and pursue the thing I want, because I'm not sure I trust myself or that the situation could unfold as it does. And so we're not being in line with our truthful, authentic expression, what you truly feel, where your heart space is calling out to. You might feel like you're betraying the old thing, and it's like, well, this thing, might have been a true form of expression for you, a true form of home and support. But it's time to open ourselves up to what the universe is wanting you to experience. But you have to give of yourself. Like, you have to communicate what it is that you know that you want here. And I feel like you're too hesitant to speak about this truth, because once you speak about this truth, it becomes a reality. But this is how you give to it in order for you to receive it. But it's waiting for you to take action. You have to be first to initiate, to give to it, to express you want it, to desire, that you come to this understanding that this is the thing, this is your North Star, this is your future, this is where you want to row to, this is you closing out the cycle. But I think you don't want to conclude the cycle. I think you don't want to accept some truth, and so your hands can't be open to receive the blessing here if we're not willing to give of the truth here. So we're working on confidence, feeling empowered to take action here, because I feel like you are being called to act on your inspiration here. And the fact, like what was coming through here was the Knight of Wands doesn't know the long sort of outcome of what it could be, but he still takes action, in pursuing what he wants in the moment. It's like act now, think later type energy. But I feel like Spirit is saying it's okay to do this, because you already sat here understanding or know what you want for your future and your vision here. And so although you might not see the path in between here, okay, because I feel like something about you is telling me that you play things very safe. You could certainly be an earth sign. We see a Virgo here. You could be a Virgo or just an earth sign. Okay, but we also see Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and Sag, and Aries. But I do feel it's like a practical energy here, and so we might be hesitant to take the first action or to communicate a truth or to do something, because it's like I could see it, but I don't know all the steps or trust that it would get to this thing here. And Spirit's saying you don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to keep your eye on the North Star, take your action, be confident to take this action. And this is where we restore balance, and this is what will allow us to heal, because I feel like the only way we can change our energy and go through a period of the healing is to live through it, to find the balance, and so I feel like it's requiring you to walk away from a situation that emotionally was happy at one point, fulfilling, and it no longer is. And so we go and we reflect on what our future dream would look like and trust that it is for us, because you might have some skeptical idea, you might think, well, that's for someone else, or that it can't be too good to be true, or it'll never happen in this way. And so if your thought is like this, it's making you stay and want to remain in a situation. But this is just self-speak. So you're being asked to be kind to self, have patience on self, be accepting of self, allow yourself to understand that confidence will come in time, but you have to be able to take first steps and give of self first, rather than taking and keeping, because this is a stuck energy. Okay, so the more we sort of give, and then things flow, and we are patient with self, and the more we can receive, and then the more we can take another step, and so on and so forth. And so we slowly close out what needs closing, because I feel like this isn't one big foul swoop here, but I feel like we have to be willing to keep giving to the situation, that will allow it to move forward rather than being, closed off to it, or taking from it and then keeping to self, because it's not allowing the expansion. So the ball's in your court. You're the one growing this beautiful new future, but it's going to stunt its growth. We have to let it grow, and we have to nurture it. And the nurturing comes from you trusting in your own self to take action when you need to show compassion on yourself, to be in workable energy, to heal what you need to identify what doesn't work in your now situation of sitting in this high chair when you're 20 years old, or whatever, and I don't know, maybe you're 45 and you're still living in your parents' basement. I don't know, and there's nothing wrong with this, but it's like, whatever this is cramping your style. And I think the style of you having your own future family, love, deep soul bond, future happiness. I know myself and what makes me happy, and I connect with my soul tribe, my soul person. I created this family utopian future. It speaks to my heart. I emotionally feel so connected to this thing. I feel true unconditional love here, and this is the only way I can get out of the cold, because I feel like you feel out in the cold of this future state. And it's like, because we need to deal with this, but it's like, well, you're the one sort of thinking that this thing here is what's, I don't know, needs to be upkept in some way, but it's perpetuating your 5 pentacles. Oops. It's not producing the fruit. Okay. And so, because like I said, this fruit is all the chakras. It's like the fruit that will align you, your truest alignment here, what's going on the inside of you, what you truly connect with on your heart space, what truly connects you spiritually, what you can manifest in the material world. Yeah, I feel like it's your whole being. It's going to pull you out of whatever world you're in. Okay, and this might be scary for you because, again, you are wanting to stay there, safe and secure. And it's like, it's going to pull you out of this. Now, this doesn't mean that you're never, ever going to, I don't know, see this world. It's just you're closing out an energy of attachment you have to it. That's what you're not seeing well. You have an unhealthy engagement right now of how you engage in that environment, that it doesn't allow you to grow out of it. So you can still engage in a way that's healthy. This home could still remain. You're an independent person from this home, so you could come visit it, water it, say hello, but you're independent of this. You're not enmeshed in this society or this bring up, I don't know, this home, this community, this thing that supported you at one point. You're an autonomous being from this thing. And so by removing yourself, you're whole and complete spiritually, emotionally, in the material world. You have your own, I don't know, family, home, independent thing that you can create, and you can be in healthy relationship with this home structure. That's putting a concluding cycle on it, making space for new while being in a healthy engagement or dance of the old. You don't have to release it completely, but it pulls you out of this inability to move forward, an inability to produce fruit for yourself, to grow spiritually for yourself. Like, I feel like spiritually and as a person, and to create abundance. I feel like you haven't, I don't know, like created something for yourself, maybe a home, or like it felt like ambitious, or, and not that someone needs, any material things in this world, but a purpose, a reason to live, feeling like, I don't know, I have a world that makes me feel like I'm creating something beautiful and I'm empowered. I'm a creator here with the divine, and I'm confident to create the home, the job, the family, the place, the independence, the autonomy, the freedom that I want. And the universe is in conjunction with me. And so I'm not limited or restricted or only have one way of engaging, because that's been my experience. Okay, and so universe wants to pull you out of this. And I feel like the butterfly effect of what I was seeing here, like I can go very quickly in this so you know what I was seeing, but it's like I'm empowered to find the justice and the balance in my own life. And I want to express myself because I feel a lot of love towards this new direction, because I feel like this is beautiful and it could be beautiful, but I'm really hung up on the person, place, thing of the past, of what I grew up or what I know, because that was safe. And now it's something I feel I can't move out of, but I need a new perspective here. I got to put down my defensive, stop fighting against the universal flow and the flow of life in order for me to create my own sort of 4-1s, my community coming together, my rite of passage, my next thing. And so this would require me to to tear apart, or to let the community that I knew to be separate from me now. Or when I use separate, I just mean let it be the thing of the past. It is no longer sustainable. We can't build on this thing. Okay, this is structure, stability, but it's in the reverse. So I can't build on this thing because this was a thing that supported me in the past. It's emotionally not doing it for me. You know, my people, my friends, my whatever, my, you know, high school friends, or my family, or my parents' basement, whatever it was good for bringing me up. And now it's no longer a thing. And so now I need to create my own thing with my own stability, not fight it, commit to it, to know that there's a higher purpose for me, a higher calling, something I could commit to, something I could build to, but I'm scared. And I don't see the great truth here because all I'm seeing is the things that I got to let go of, and what it was that I experienced here, which was a good thing, but now it's cramping myself. So I fear, and I don't see the great truth of, you know, what I see, because what if it isn't, you know, the ideal thing, and then I move on, or I move forward, and it's like I only think that it's going to be a 10 pentacles, but it disappoints me. But it's like, well, keep your eye on the thing that you want. Don't let fear get in your way. You're distorted. You're letting fears dictate where you stay, cramping your style. Don't let fears get in your way. So you got to change your perspective. Okay, their perspective, and see things differently than how you're seeing it. And this is connecting to the divine, getting enlightened, transforming, allowing your situation to transform, because now we change the way we think. We're no longer in limbo land, sitting in the 5 pentacles, not enjoying where our heart is calling us to. So you're fighting, you have conflicting thoughts about this. Okay, you're conflicted about how do I move on and make peace with moving on from this thing. And so you're going back and forth, or resisting, or fighting your own thoughts and your own self. The decision is yours. You're going back and forth, back and forth. Should I not? You feel like you don't have confidence here, or the material or the practical thing to make it happen. You don't need anything here. You might feel like you're incapable of making it happen, and you're not. It's going in this turbulency here. You need to shed the old. There's the Ouroboros, or the shedding of the old, you know, in order to create the new. So confront your fears, take action, speak your truth, communicate what you want, you know, and I feel like there's something in your heart space you really want, you really connect to here. The only person who can give and receive towards this thing is you, by taking authentic action, expression, moving towards it, confronting what you need. Okay, and this will get you out of your 4 cups, because you're not happy right now. I don't think you are. Like, look at this. It's like, but at least I'm still here. But it's like, you're not happy. 1, this high chair you outgrown. That's 4 wands in reverse you outgrown, and you're seeing this thing maybe being a distant thing that you can't attain or connect with, you know, although you feel love to it. You sit here, that's 4 cups, seeing what won't work. It won't work, or what if it doesn't, or what if it ends up flip-flopping, trip-tropping. Looking at what doesn't work. The universe is giving this beautiful blessing to you. Okay, this is a big pigsty. I'm not going to read all these, but I could go on forever. Okay, you get the point. Beautiful. Angel. I don't know. This is you, someone you're dealing with. Okay, I love you so much. Trust. You don't want to be here, okay? This is not you. No, you know, I feel you feel, I don't know what you feel here, but you're not alone. Okay, I trust you can make this happen. Have confidence in yourself. Okay, and you will find peace. No need to be in that 5 wands, conflicted, and 2 pentacles back and forth, and feeling left out in the cold, and seeing something that isn't for you. It is for you. It's made for you. It's divine. You're divinely guided towards this thing. Okay, you know, because your heart knows the truth. Your heart is calling to you. You feel connected to this thing. Trust it. Okay, be open. You got to be open to receive, but that means to give, and you can only give authenticity. You can't resist. You can't take from it and keep it. You got to open, receive, give. Okay, and sometimes you got to give in order to receive. It's the flow. Don't resist. Don't block. Okay, connect with the divine. The divine knows what's right for you. That means shedding old ways of being. Beautiful angels, this is your reading. I will see you at the next one. Bye bye.